Vanessa and I are driving along a one-lane road. This one-lane road actually heads up to a mystery spot. What makes this a mystery spot is the fact that it was a complete mystery to us that anything of its relative significance could be anywhere within 100 miles of San Jose, California. The area here is largely farmland. Most of the land out here, some 75 miles from the Pacific Ocean, is rangeland. But 400 or 500 years ago, 5 Indian tribes lived out here peacefully, hopefully. And they lived among these lovely rolling hills with green grasses and plummeting serpentine valleys. As you can see in the distance over that rounded hill, that some of the marine layer is starting to burn away. We may just get a glimpse of our mystery location before too long. One of the features of this is this lovely little vintnery. And it's also an inn of the, well, I can't say what that is, otherwise we'd be giving away the locale that we're at. Most of the area around here is rolling grasses and the valleys. There's a few streams, but if you look up there at the top of the hill, you'll see a large oak tree. We're approaching about an altitude of 2,000 feet. And we may get a little higher, but it looks like the pitch is downward a little bit at this point. A little sweep of the parking area. Not a lot of activity here at this time. Now, we've just been told by a maintenance worker here that this entire area is totally self-sufficient for power and communications. It's completely off the grid. That particular building in the distance there is a maintenance shed, and that roof line is strategically placed to capture as much solar energy as possible. We also learned that this particular location has a corresponding approach from the east, and if we follow this road up about 2 miles, it comes to an end, and then with about a 3-mile hike you can get to the eastern approach to the same locale. Along the way you'll encounter some caves. And here's a rough layout of the locale. We are located right here. We just came up this long route. And then if we continue the road, we'll have to come to a stop at some point and then hike to the eastern approach of this location. There's a nice display here of rock types. This type rock is a sedimentary rock. That simply means that layers and layers of minerals are deposited together and under compression come together and form bonds. Metamorphic rock is rock that's undergone some kind of a change, I suspect. Probably started off as sedimentary, and with more compression the bonds got stronger. There's igneous rock. This type rock here has been exposed to heat from the Earth's interior, which causes it to fuse and blend. You've got igneous rock that comes out of volcanic flows, so it came out as a fluid, and then as it cooled, it formed a solid state. Other forms of igneous are from volcanic blasts, where it shoots up into the air, and then as it comes down it forms some kind of bonds, irregular bonds like this. And some other forms. This looks like it's green, so it probably has a little bit of copper in it. And then there's the darker variety. Perlite is what is mentioned here. The location we're at here was originally mostly stone architecture, and later on there was a flood that resulted in the institution of this much more modern form of architecture. That flood occurred in the late 1990s. Dave?
I'm Dave, and I have not been here in this area since 1973 when I came down with my family to visit relatives. My grandfather was born here in 1899. His father came out in I believe it was 1880, and ended up buying some property, raised his family here. Memories of them hiking up in this area when he was probably 10, so that'd be about 1910.
This trail is relatively new and is handicap accessible. It sweeps along the chaparral and should give us our first view of the primary feature of this location. Down below is a riparian corridor. As we walk along this trail, and I sweep the camera upward, you'll begin, in the distance you'll see, the chief geologic feature of the location. The rocks comprising this locale are shared in their basic chemistry and formation with rocks that are located or have been found 200 miles south. Whenever Vanessa and I go hiking out in nature, we love to come across nature imitating herself. Yeah, using your imagination, you can project back millions of years and think this old branch of a tree fallen and separated away. The sun, star, monster. Here we have a nice view of the riparian corridor sweeping across the valley. Heading off into the green distance. Looking back on our hike, you can see that we came around that sweeping corner along the trail. And we're going to go around another corner right up here. At this point, the trail branches. Heads up in the distance towards the peaks, and continues on to be lined by rocks. Off to our left, we see a little bit different chaparral. Less sweeping grassy meadows and more tree population. At this point, the rock line trail ends. See Vanessa in the distance. Way off in the distance there, you see a dirt road. Wondering if that heads off towards the cave. Rounding this corner, get a view of this nice hillside, green, lush, some oak trees. Looks like juniper berries. And for those weary of the hike, or perhaps just want to appreciate the view. Nice little park bench. Just past the park bench and around another corner, you see the trail continuing with this majestic view. The rocks, the cliffs. I'm starting to think at this point that we're going to sweep around Q-tip fashion to arrive at that original fork that we took some quarter-mile back. He's freezing up. As I walk by, we'll see how he responds. Off into the rocks. Here's another nice view of the peaks in the distance. The ridge. And my suspicions have proved correct. We can see the trail we originally came up in the distance. And now we're back to our original branch point, completing the loop. The loop heading east, and the loop returning from the south. Right now the wind is coming out of the due south. If you look at those distant peaks and ridgeline, you can imagine at one time the great California condors soaring, circulating. But not now. But not now.
Well, we just finished our long hike, and here we are at the wishing well, and we want to wish you all well.